So one of the major experiences with sexism that I've had is with my little sister. She went to a summer program at Gateway Community College over the summer to learn about medical careers, and a nurse asked her what she wanted to do, and she said, "I wanted to be a surgeon." And when she said that, the nurse kind of gave her a funny look and said, "I can really only see you as a nurse. Nurses are, it's kind of a woman's job. Surgeons is more for men."
I was an undergraduate student at a fitness recreation center, a university rec center, and I had a male staff member who had the same role as me, same pay rate, same shirt, same shift, and he had this idea that I couldn't do everything he could, so he went on our task list and said, "Oh, hey, you can do these tasks and I'll do these tasks." And I asked him, why can't I do those tasks? And he's like, "Well, I don't think that you can accomplish those tasks." And so I basically walked over. One of the tasks was to re-rack weights. So I walked over to this heavy weight and I lifted it up and I re-racked it, and I kind of looked at it, I'm like, yeah, now what? I can do everything you can do. I was hired the same way you were, so don't question me. Let me try first before you count me out.
I've experienced sexism in the workplace when it came down to interviewing for promotion, and a guy that was less qualified than me was given the promotion when they even stated that I should have gotten it over him, but due to other qualities he has, he got it.
So I've had a lot of experiences, like daily experiences, where I feel like my opinion doesn't matter because I'm a woman. But one of the most significant ones that I can remember was when I used to volunteer at the zoo. So there were some people that had been there for a long time, so we'd been volunteering there for like 3 or 4 years. So they wanted to kind of improve the program, so they got us together on a little committee and asked us what we could do to change it. And there were a few girls, and then there was like 2 guys on our committee. And every time any one of us would try to bring up an important point or say something, because our supervisor was a guy, he kept directing the conversation towards the guys and kind of ignoring any of our advice or opinions that we had.
So I probably have encountered a situation where my opinion didn't matter as much as a man's, but to be honest, I haven't really recognized it because I personally think my opinion really does matter. But I've probably encountered situations where a guy's opinion probably was valued more and I just didn't catch it, which is actually really unfortunate for us as women that we don't realize that sometimes we're being discounted.
I feel like that my opinion is always taken seriously because I make myself known and heard, but I do believe that happens all the time that women's opinions aren't voiced or taken into consideration as much as men's are.
I will bring up to people when people ask me about having kids that I really am not a fan of children, and I have never wanted to have children, and I probably never will. I would rather explore other options like traveling or like having different careers throughout my life. And the most common response that I get from women even is that I'm gonna get baby fever and eventually I'm gonna want to have kids. And I think that's kind of insulting to assume just because I'm a woman that I want to have a family and I want to have kids. And there's nothing wrong with having kids, but you don't have to go that route just because you're a woman.
So I definitely think that pregnancy and motherhood affects women, especially in the workplace. There are a lot of situations where you don't get proper pregnancy leave once you do have your kid, and you want to let your body heal and stay out with your kid for a while, and it doesn't apply to guys because they don't birth children. I think it also applies to motherhood as well. A lot of situations where it comes to getting a project, if you have kids, they may not give you that project because they think that you're going to want to go home and be with your kids instead of staying at work. And personally for me, I've experienced it because I'm single and I don't have any kids and I don't have a family. I've noticed that I've been given a lot more projects than people who do have families because they're like, "Oh yeah, you have free time, you can work these late night events." And it's like, well, I can, but I don't know if I exactly want to. So I think that it definitely affects them in sometimes a positive way and sometimes a not so positive way.
I think that during pregnancy, women are treated as if they're incapable of doing anything, that they need to just sleep and eat and grow a human. And when it comes to abortion, they are also babied because they're losing someone. They're terminating something that is very emotional to them, but I think it affects men more than they would ever realize because it is half of them inside that human also.